You survived the plane crash. That was your first mistake, because now you're lying on an island where the ground itself can kill you. Then you see it, nailed into a rock face 10 feet away. Rust-covered metal, a painted symbol, a coiled snake, and one word underneath it. Prohibido. Forbidden. Then you look down and realize one of them is already beside your boot. 30 minutes ago, everything was fine. Routine flight, Atlantic corridor. Then the storm hit. Not a regular storm, the kind that appears on no radar. Within minutes, turbulence went from uncomfortable to violent. Every alarm in the cockpit fires at once. You grab the controls, the aircraft doesn't respond. You try the radio. Dead. You restart systems. Nothing. And then through the clouds below, you see it. Green. Dense. An island. No runway. No lights. No signs of civilization. Just jungle and rock and black water crashing against cliffs. The engine goes. The aircraft shudders apart around you. The nose tips toward the ocean. And in the last second before impact, you pull the eject. When you come back to consciousness, everything hurts. Ears ringing, vision blurring in and out, left shoulder screaming, blood running down your arm. Ribs feel like broken glass with every breath. But you're conscious, you're upright. That matters more than you know right now. Then, you notice something. The jungle is silent. Not completely. You hear wind, insects, leaves moving, but no birds, no animal sounds. The kind of silence that means something else is already here. Then you see it, nailed into a rock face 10 feet away. Rust-covered metal, a painted symbol, a coiled snake, and one word underneath it. Prohibido. Your stomach drops, because somewhere in the back of your mind, you already know the stories. This is Snake Island. This is Ilha da Queimada Grande, 33 kilometers off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil. The Brazilian government banned civilians from coming here decades ago, not because of military operations, not because of radiation, because of one animal. The Golden Lancehead pit viper, Bothrops insularis, one of the most venomous snakes on the planet, and it exists nowhere else on Earth except this island. Scientists estimate between 2,000 and 4,000 of them living here, on 43 hectares of land, roughly 1 snake per square meter in the densest parts of the jungle. Their venom doesn't just cause a normal reaction, it actively destroys tissue at the cellular level, causes rapid internal bleeding, kidney failure, brain hemorrhages. Some victims experience necrosis. The tissue around the bite site literally begins to liquefy within hours. Without anti-venom, which you will find nowhere on this island, a bite near a major blood vessel is survivable only if you reach a hospital within 2 hours. The nearest hospital is 30 miles across open ocean. And here's the detail that will haunt every single step you take today. Golden Lanceheads are ambush hunters. They don't rattle. They don't hiss before they strike. They wait, completely still, camouflaged against leaf litter and bark, until something warm gets close enough. Meaning right now you cannot trust a single shadow. Every pile of leaves, every root, every branch above your head could already have one on it. First, and this is not optional, you stop. This comes directly from the U.S. Air Force Survival Manual. Stop. Think. But the instinct right now is to move, to do something. That instinct will get you killed faster than the snakes will. You breathe. You assess your injuries. Shoulder dislocated. Painful but manageable. Arm laceration. Bleeding slowed. Ribs cracked, not broken. You're functional. You inventory what survived the ejection. Flight suit. Intact. Full body coverage, including gloves. On Snake Island, this isn't clothing. This is armor. Flare gun. 1 cartridge. 1 shot. Use it for the right moment. No radio, no satellite beacon, no GPS. Nobody knows where you are. Nobody is coming. Not yet. But that can change, Ben, if you make the right decisions. Priority 1 is shelter. The sun is dropping. You do not want to be moving through this jungle after dark. Golden Lanceheads are most active at night. You need elevation and walls before sunset. Then through the trees, you see it. 200 meters uphill, a lighthouse. Rule 1. While moving towards lighthouse, you do not step anywhere you haven't looked first. Every footfall, knife-pushing leaf litter aside before your boot lands. Rule 2. You move slowly and make controlled noise. Snakes feel vibration. Noise gives them warning and a chance to move before you get close enough to trigger a strike. Rule 3. You stay tall. Pit vipers strike at ankle and knee height. 40 meters in, 3 of them, coiled at the base of a root cluster. You give them 12 feet of clearance. You don't run. 60 meters in, you smell it. That faint, musky, sweet scent herpetologists describe as the warning signal. Snakes produce it under stress. It means there are more. Close. You slow down even further. Inside, the lighthouse smells like mold, salt water, and something older. Broken furniture, rusted tools, water stains on every wall. Your flashlight sweeps the room and stops. This isn't an abandoned space. This is someone's home. You find a second door, blocked by collapsed shelving, locked from the outside. The smell hits before the flashlight does. Bones on the floor, torn clothing, a rusted emergency radio. Battery corroded completely. And against the far wall, a journal. Most pages water-damaged beyond reading. But one page near the back is still legible. One legible page written. They're inside the walls at night, in Portuguese. This lighthouse is not a safe refuge. It is shelter. That distinction matters. Safe means no threat. Shelter means better odds than outside. That's what you have. You spend the next 40 minutes sealing every gap you can find. Parachute fabric stuffed into wall cracks. Shelving wedged against the door base. Mylar blankets spread across the floor. Any snake crossing it will make noise. You climb to the second level, get off the ground, and through the broken window, a light on the water. Moving slowly, far offshore, a vessel, shipping within visual range of this island. Tomorrow at first light, you have a real chance. Night comes fast in the tropics. One moment there's light, the next, gone. You don't sleep. Back against the wall, knife in your right hand, flashlight on low power. Every sound gets categorized automatically. Wind, fine. Rain, fine. Building creak, fine. Something moving on the mylar sheet on the floor below you. Juvenile, small, and the most dangerous kind, for one specific reason. Adult lanceheads have learned venom control. They can deliver a dry bite, no venom, as a warning. Juveniles haven't developed that control yet. They inject at full capacity, every time, by reflex. The juvenile reaches the far wall and disappears through a gap you missed. You spend the next 10 minutes finding that gap and sealing it. At 3 a.m., something hits the outside wall. Then a sound from directly above. Something on the roof. You don't investigate. This is the second survival rule of the night. You do not go looking for problems in the dark. Darkness on Snake Island belongs to them, not you. You hold your position until the first gray light appears through the broken windows. One objective: get to the coastline, open ground, signal. 200 meters of jungle between you and open coast. Normal terrain, a 2-minute walk. Here, 25 minutes minimum. Every step checked, every footfall deliberate. The snakes are slower in the morning cool. Reptiles are ectothermic. Their movement speed drops with temperature. But slower doesn't mean stopped. Ambush hunters were never relying on speed. 30 meters in, 6 of them across a 15-meter stretch. motionless, warming on exposed rocks as the sun rises. You navigate around every one. 60 meters in, your boot catches a root. You go down fast, left knee on the ground, right hand out to catch yourself. 6 inches to your right, a lancehead, disturbed by the impact, moving away into the leaf litter. But here's what nobody tells you about a near miss on Snake Island. The danger isn't just physical. Your hands are shaking, your breathing is wrong, and a human brain running at full panic with 140 meters of hostile jungle still ahead is more dangerous than the snake was. You stop, back against a tree. Slow, inhale through the nose. Count to 4, out through the mouth. The U.S. Air Force calls it combat breathing. Special Operations uses it before breaching a door. It overrides the fight-or-flight response through vagal nerve activation. It works here too. 30 seconds, then you keep moving. 182 meters, 26 minutes. You made it. Open ground changes everything. No canopy, clear sight lines, morning sun low and bright. You build the signal fire first. Not a campfire, a signal structure. Tinder base, teepee of sticks, larger driftwood crisscrossed on top. Critical detail from the FAA Aviation Survival Manual. You want smoke, not just flame. White smoke from green vegetation is visible for miles at sea. Black smoke from synthetic material is even more visible against a blue sky. 11 minutes later, a maritime patrol aircraft on the horizon. Flying a grid search pattern. You grab the signal mirror, hold it close, catch the sun, flash in groups, 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. The aircraft continues its line.
Yes, it's
away
turning,
from
now or
you.
never.
Then it turns.
There you are!
Slightly. Heading toward
Come on, see me!
your smoke column. You fire the flare. For 1 second, in the red light of that flare, you see exactly how many of them have been around you this whole time. On the rocks, across driftwood, on the cliff face above you, watching. And then the light dies. The aircraft breaks from its pattern, banks hard, direct line toward your position. A Brazilian Coast Guard vessel, 11 miles south, changes course. Estimated arrival, 51 minutes. You sit down on the rock, back against a boulder. Fire still burning. Ocean below. Jungle behind you. Silent. Behind you, the jungle. You don't look into it. 100,000 of them. And not a single one touched you. Because you didn't give them the chance. The Coast Guard cutter reaches you 48 minutes after the aircraft makes the call.
You're
Thermal
safe.
blanket, water,
Drink this water,
full medic
slowly.
assessment. 1
you.
dislocated shoulder, reset. 4 cracked ribs, arm laceration, 12 stitches, moderate dehydration. Alive. And as the cutter puts distance between you and that island, let's talk about exactly what kept you breathing. Because it wasn't luck. You stopped before you moved. The stop framework prevented you from running blind into terrain you didn't understand. Every wrong direction on Snake Island can be the last one. You stopped before you moved. The stop framework prevented you from running blind into terrain you didn't understand. Every wrong direction on Snake Island can be the last one. You secured your coverage. The flight suit glove is what stood between your palm landing on a juvenile lancehead and a lethal envenomation with no treatment available. You used combat breathing after the fall. The near miss at 60 meters could have triggered full panic. 30 seconds of deliberate breathing reset the threat response and let you finish the crossing correctly. You built the right fire. Signal smoke and warming fire are different tools. Black synthetic smoke from 3 miles out is what the aircraft saw. Every single one of those decisions came from one thing. Not instinct, not bravery, knowledge. Snake Island is real. The ban is active. The Golden Lanceheads are there right now. Every survival technique in this video is drawn directly from the U.S. Air Force Survival Manual. FAA aviation emergency protocols, and documented field research on Bothrops insularis. This isn't just a story. It's a blueprint. At the crossing, the 60-meter fall, would you have kept moving, or would you have gone back to the lighthouse and waited? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to see what happens when the scenario gets worse than Snake Island, stay subscribed, because the next one makes this look like a nature walk.